What's going on, guys? Shane here. Today we're talking about the anatomy of the shin, specifically for throwing and blocking roundhouse kicks in Muay Thai and MMA. Let's break it down. Okay, so the shin is made up of two different bones. We have the tibia in the front, and this is where we're going to be directing all of our attention today because this is the bone that we throw kicks with and that we check kicks with. Then we have the fibula, which runs along the side, much deeper within the leg. This is a much smaller, thinner bone, but like I said, since we're going to be using the tibia, let's focus on that today. I like comparing it to a baseball bat because it is a very similar shape in that the top is the thickest, densest part. As we travel down the shaft, we reach the weakest, thinnest part right here at about the lower third area and over here on the bat. Then it begins to expand and get a little bit bigger down at the handle, and with the tibia it gets a little bit bigger down at the ankle. Now, when we think about fights like Chris Weidman against Anderson Silva, when Anderson Silva broke his leg, a bunch of questions popped up where people were saying, why did that happen? Is it because his bones are weak from overtraining? He didn't give himself enough time to recover? Was it dehydration? Could have been a number of things, but if you Google a picture, you can see that Anderson made contact at the weakest part of his tibia against the tibial tuberosity on Chris, the strongest part of the tibia. Think about it like this. If you want to break this wooden baseball bat in half, what part are you going to strike? Are you going to hit here? No, you're going to hit the thinnest, weakest part. Anderson made contact here against Chris's tibial tuberosity here, and that's what caused it to shatter. All right. A common misconception now is, one of my fans came up to me and he said, so Shane, the upper half of the shin is the denser part, it's the thicker part, it's the safer part. I said, yes. He said, that means I should be blocking kicks with the upper half of my shin. I said, yes. He said, does that mean I should be throwing kicks with the upper half of my shin? I said, no. You still want to make contact with the lower half of your shin, right? Again, let's go back to the baseball bat. If I'm holding the bat like this, just for the sake of keeping the density at the bottom, am I going to make contact right here? No. I want to make contact at the edge of the bat because that's where the energy is. It travels down the bat into the ball and sends it flying, right? I'm not hitting right here. It's the same idea. When I throw a roundhouse kick, all the energy is traveling down. If I make contact here, all of this is wasted energy. Not only that, I lose range. And now I'm right in front of my opponent. If I'm making contact here, he's going to light me up with punches and counters. Okay? Another common misconception that people have is they think if you have conditioned shins or you're a fighter that you don't feel pain or you're not susceptible to fractures or breaks. That's not true, right? Even if you watch professional Muay Thai, after a couple of perfectly checked leg kicks, that person stops throwing kicks because it hurts, right? If you go shin on shin, that's brutal. You don't want to do that over and over again because it will lead to injury. It will lead to fractures. Okay, so what do? You try to make contact with the lower half of your shin when you throw kicks against the soft muscle, right? We strike the quadricep or right where the quadricep attaches to the ligament there, all right? How do we make that happen? How do we make sure that we're not hitting shin on shin? We set it up with punches. We get them to cover up, all right? We make sure that when we throw that kick, it's going to land at the target we intended it to land. Alright guys, thanks for watching. So now that you know the anatomy of the shin, it's time to start conditioning them. Here's a link right here so that you can follow how to do it correctly and safely. Until next time, be sure to subscribe to get the fight tips before your opponent does. I'm Shane with fightTIPS for the underdogs.